Welcome to our series, How to Pray. I'm Professor Avraham Apatow. Today we're going to speak about the emotional state of prayer. There's a line that says there are no atheists in a foxhole. That's because when someone's faced by the possibility of their imminent death, it's very easy to open one's heart and scream in prayer to a power greater than you. But how does a Jew who is commanded to pray with a minyan 3 times a day in a very structured, ritualized fashion, how does one in that situation open one's heart in prayer on such a regular basis? And I had an interesting discussion once with a friend of mine. This was in Jerusalem. This man was a rabbi. He was even the head of a yeshiva. And he turned to me and he said, Avram Chaim, when I pray, I feel nothing. I feel absolutely nothing. Well, I don't think he's alone in this situation. I think there are many Jews and even other rabbis that have great challenges in the issue of opening their heart to open themselves to experiencing closeness to the divine and deep and meaningful emotions in their practice of prayer. Now, a lot of those issues may be related to certain cultures and also to certain psychological issues within families. But at the same time, I think there are general reasons for the challenges that we as a people have in this context of prayer. And I would like to suggest there are 2 very fundamental reasons. The first is that the Torah forbids us to have an image of God. Well, if we don't have an image of a God, how can we have strong emotions in our prayers? Just think about it. Think about the whole world of advertising, for example. Advertising, their job is to arouse emotions, arouse motivation to go buy a product. How do they do it? They do it by utilizing images, bombarding us with all these different images to connect these images to buying their product. Well, they're experts at this. Well, Judaism forbids the use of an image of God. Now, this is also a very profound teaching because obviously images can be used to arouse emotions towards the wrong things. But if you look at ancient religions, you'll see practically, and maybe even every single ancient religion is focused around images of a god or their gods. It is through connection to an image that a community is united in their emotions and their focus towards their worship of that specific deity. That's what unites them. Why do football teams have symbols and images? Every sports team has images because that's what unites their fans together in support of that team. Well, religion in a certain way is like a team. Everybody has that shared belief. Well, an image is what makes it so focused. Well, Judaism has images like every other religion. We have Magen David, we have the Torah, we have images of these things. But when it comes to God, the center of our religion, we're not allowed to have images. So we're really at some kind of a disadvantage and need to find another means to utilize our imaginations in appropriate ways in the context of prayer. The second issue that we face is the one of cosmology. In ancient religions, they provided a deity, but also provided a cosmology. What is the picture of the world that our community subscribes to? And how do we fit in that picture of the world? How does that cosmology explain the creation of the world? How does it explain how the world functions? Well, that's the purpose of a cosmology. Well, Judaism has certain aspects of that, and there are some variety of beliefs regarding cosmology and the issue of creation, according to even Orthodox observant Jewish people. But in general, we're all affected by the fact that we live in the modern world. And in the modern world, cosmology that we share is one that really undermines a traditional cosmological picture. And let me explain what I mean. In our world today, we're looking at a universe that is infinite. A universe that has no center, because according to Einstein, everything's relative. So how does one picture one's place in an infinite universe that has no center? We live in a very modern mindset. So we're left without a cosmology. So we have no image of God, and we really have no picture of our universe, because how can you picture infinity? Well, this is all just really a long introduction, hopefully to show you how important this issue is, because what I'm going to explain to you is that there is a very specific cosmology that we need to embrace, and a very specific way of dealing with this issue of how to have a focus and use our imagination in our prayer. And when we explore this, it's going to present a whole picture with a very simple and clear structure that will answer all the obscurities and big questions about the nature of our very vision of our world, of God, His names, the meaning of prayer, how to pray, how to experience prayer in a deep and profound and emotional way, and also what the very purpose of prayer and the very purpose of Torah is. So it's a bit of a long introduction, but hopefully that's a big setup to really present some ideas that are extremely essential to our spiritual life and our practice of Judaism. So stay tuned.